a session by Miss Himadri Mishra, who is working as an assistant professor at Indore Management Institute. And she's from Indore. She's pursuing PhD from Devi Ahilya University, Indore. She is a passionate learner about new things. She is currently working with her institute, with Indore Management Institute, since 1 year, and she is a skillful employee of our organization. She is enthusiastic learner, enthusiastic teacher as well. So, without wasting the time, we will be starting with today's session. That is resource mobilization, an impactful tool for improving the organizational productivity. Over to you, Miss Himadri.
Yes, ma'am. Namaste, namaste to everyone. Can you please give me the authority to share my screen because I'm not able to share my screen. Can you please
Yes, you can share now, Himadri. Yes, you can share now, Himadri. So, in the meantime, Himadri is starting. I would like to thank Adasco, Team Adasco, Stephen, Maria, and Sanja that they are always ready to give us a platform to share our views. And it is very much appreciated from India also that inter country transfer of knowledge is happening through the Adasco platform. So, very much grateful to Team Adasco. Himadri, are you ready?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, please start.
So, firstly, I will be starting with meaning of resource mobilization. What is resource mobilization? Resource mobilization means movement of resources. Here I have written resource mobilization that refers to all activities without resources, without having sufficient resources, I cannot start my business. So, first, before starting any business, I have to think that from where I can get the resources. Next, planning effective resource mobilization. Here are few steps required when an organization wants to fulfill his goals. So, first is evaluate and judge the need for resources. Before setting up of any business, we have to first think that why we require these resources. Is the resource which we want is useful for me or not? So first, before setting up of any business enterprise, we have to evaluate that what is the need of resources. Will the resources will beneficial for us in future or not? Second is identify the type of resource. I have to identify what kind of resource I want in my organization. It is financial resource, whether or human resource, physical resource, what kind of resource I want to start my business. Next is locate the availability of resources. I have identified that I want financial resource. Suppose for an example, I identified that I want financial resource. So now I will locate where from where I will get the resource, from where I can get the financial resource from bank, or I can borrow from someone, my friends, my family. So I will locate the availability of the resource. Next, effective communication with the supplier of the resource. Communication is something very important when it comes to run a business organization, because without having effective communication you cannot run the business. You should have that communication power that you can connect with the supplier, so that you can acquire the resources you want. So effective communication matters a lot when it comes to procurement of the resources. Next is evaluate the quality and quantity of the resources required. Now I have communicated with the supplier. Next, I will be evaluating that at what quantity I want the resources. What should be the quantity I should procure from the supplier? What should be the quality of the resource which I should procure? Next is identify problems pertaining to resource mobilization. From where I can, like, how can I mobilize my resources? Which transport I can use? From where I can get the transportation facility? From where I can bring the resources which I require? So you have to also identify the problems which are related to the mobilization of resources. Next, arrange fund for acquisition of resources. Now I have decided who will supply me the resources, what will be my mode of transportation. Now I will go for acquisition of fund for acquisition of resources. I will arrange the fund that I can get the resources which I want. Then I will plan out inventory management for the procured resources, where I will store my resources which I have procured from the supplier. Where will I keep them? So you have to set up the warehouse also, where you will keep the procured resources from the supplier. Next, there are five M's of mobilization. First is financial resources. Financial resource is something which is very important factor to start any business. Without having sufficient amount of fund, you cannot start any kind of a business. So you have to think that from where I can obtain the financial resource. Like, can I borrow it from my friends and family? Can I go for owner's fund? Can I go for borrowed fund? So you firstly have to decide that from where I will acquire the fund. Fund is basically divided into two categories. Long term financing. Basically, long term financing is required to buy fixed assets. Fixed assets, and for that we go for equity fund. So equity fund, we will go for long term borrowing from the bank and for a public deposit. So long term financing basically is the financing which we require for long term period. We require for when we want to buy fixed assets, we want to buy machinery, we want to buy land, building. So at that moment we require long term financing. Next is short term financing to meet our work daily requirements. Like, we can say it as working capital, daily requirement, daily funding. For that we can go for short term financing. Next is manpower. Okay, so I am having finance, I got the finance. But if I will not have the employee to run my organization, my business will be of no use, because human resource is the most important thing to run an organization. Without human resource, all these other resources are of no use. So second, I will think that what kind of the human resource I want. Skilled, semi-skilled, or unskilled employees I want in my organization. So you have to correctly identify that what kind of employee you want in your organization. It depends upon the nature of the business which you are starting with. Okay, if you are going for any business organization which is technology based, so you will be requiring skilled person. If you are going for organization where uh, uh, you are building you are making the pots, and you are making handicraft things, so there you will require semi skilled and unskilled employees. So first, before setting up of any business, you have to require that what kind of human resource you want in your organization. So this decision should be carefully taken. There are some, as I have written, there are some sorry, there are some steps which are to be followed when we are acquiring human resource. First is total manpower required. If I am starting any business, so uh, I must evaluate the number of employees I want in my organization. It not there means under employment should should also be not there, and over employment should also be not there in the organization. Identify the key required skills, need for training and development. If you are hiring any person, you have to train him, you have to train you according your want. Legal compliances attached with mobilization, human resources, estimation of future demand, like if anyone will leave, so will I require any manpower, if I will require any manpower in future. So this kind of estimation you have to do while hiring the human resource. Next is material. Material is something which is which is required, which is the second resource required um, after human resource. So here organization should think that what kind of material they want in their organization. What like if here I have given the example, cement factory workers waiting for limestone, having nothing much to do until it arrives. So, if you are producing, if suppose for an example, I will give one example also. I want to open a cafe. I want to open a cafe, and for that I have acquired the fund also. For that I have acquired the human resource also. Now I will think what kind of the service, what kind of the product I want to give to my customer. I want to give French fries, so I want potatoes, and if I want to give sandwiches, I want bread and tomato, spinach. So, what kind of material I want when I am starting my business? If I want to open a furniture shop, I will be requiring wood as my material. So, you have to decide what kind of the material you require when you are starting your business. It depends upon the type and nature of the business you are starting with. Machine. Now, after acquiring the necessary funds, human resources, an organization needs to acquire physical resources as well, like building, plant, machinery, furniture, and raw material. I have everything. When I have started a cafe, now I got fund also, I got human resources also, and I got material also. Now I will think that where should I locate my business? What should be the location of my business? What should be the ambience of my cafe? So
Mm-hmm. Okay. ठीक है
Nandini,
मैम ओके चलिए
please mute yourself.
नहीं कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं ओके
Yeah, please continue, Himadri.
yes. So now I will think that what will be the location of my cafe, how I will design it, what will be the infrastructure of my cafe. So here it comes with physical resources. That what will be the infrastructure of my cafe or business which I want to set up. Next is method. Method is more crucial M of mobilization. It is the most crucial M of mobilization. Why? Because method defines as a sequence of activities designed to perform the task. If we are doing something, we should decide that what steps we should follow while doing the task. If I will not be having a proper method to do something, I will fail in the business process. If I will design that how I will make the product from like first if from where I can procure the product, then if I'm procuring the product, how will I make it in a productive? How I will make it useful for the people. So for that, I will be having different methods. So methods is the set of activity which we perform for making the raw material in a productive material. So methods is sequence of activity designed to perform the task. Next is why resource mobilization is important. Resource mobilization is critical to any organization for following reasons. First is ensures the continuation of your organization service provision to clients. So by making sure that business always has required resources to meet customer demand, because if sometime if business fail to fulfill customer demand, so customer will become unsupportive towards the operation. So it should sustain some amount of resources with as a back front, so that in the case of emergency they can use the resources which they have consumed in additional form. So here one should one should procure the extra resources for the time of emergency, so that operations cannot break. Next is lead to product and service improvement. If any organization will have sufficient amount of funds, so their operations will not break, they can focus on the service improvement. Like if I will be having sufficient amount of resources, I will be not be having tension that, oh, my resources are getting uh, deducted, or I'm not having the resources, I'm getting lack of resources in my organization. I will more be focused on service and product improvement if I will be having sufficient amount of resources. Next is helps in business expansion. If you will be having sufficient amount of resources, you can focus that now from where you, how you can expand your business. You don't have to look back that from where you have to procure the resources, or now from where you have to acquire the resources, because you have done it before only. So now you can be more focused that having sufficient amount of fund, now how can I expand my business. Next is last, resource mobilization strategy. First is review the organizational strategic plan. We have some plans for the organization, for some strategy for the organization. So we plan it out, and accordingly we have to think about the resources which we want for our business. So we should firstly review the organizational strategic plan, and accordingly we should acquire and procure the resources. Next is SWOT analysis. We should analyze the market. What are the strengths? What are the weakness? What can be the opportunity for my business? What are the threats? So accordingly, you should mobilize the resources. Next is resource mobilization plan. What will be my resource mobilization plan? From where I will get the resources, what from where I will get my financial resources, from where I will get my human resources, from where I will get my physical resources. So this will be the third point which I will be framing when I will go for resource mobilization strategy. Next is determining resource mobilization target. What will be from targets means that from where I will what will be the location where from where I will get the resources, from where I can make the resources available for the organization. So determining resource mobilization target means from where I can get the resources which I want for my organization, the availability. Last, determining resource needed. What kind of resource I need in my organization? We have discussed at firstly only that most resources like resources comes in three categories which I have discussed: physical resources, human resources, and financial resources. So determining the resource needed in your organization is also one of the most crucial factor for resource mobilization strategy. Thank you.
So Himadri, is the presentation done from your end?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, okay. So can you please tell me how is the resource mobilization applicable in all types of organization? What you have just explained, that organization productivity will be improved. Is it applicable in all the types of organization, or it depends on the nature of industry?
Ma'am, it depends upon the nature of the industry. Well, if it is more of like if any organization, like if you are running any kind of the organization, you require the resources to run any organization. For an example, if you are running a college, you require teachers, you require staff members, you require administration,
what are the other parameters that uh, counts when we go for this organizational productivity? What are the other
Ma'am, for
parameters that
organizational productivity,
counts when
what
we
the
go
parameters
for this
can be
organizational
uh,
productivity?
like from where I can to increase the productivity, I require human resource. So I firstly I will think that what kind of human resource I want in my organization. I want skilled or unskilled. So accordingly, I will do the hiring, and I will make sure that I will have enough machinery and fund so that I can improve my productivity. So fund and human resource and physical resources are the important parameters to increase the productivity of any organization, because if organization fails in any one, so the goals which they want to achieve will not be fulfilled.
Okay. Can you please explain the five M's of mobilization that you have explained with an example? Okay.
Sure, ma'am.
Can you please
Firstly,
explain
like what?
the five
Yes.
M's of
First,
mobilization that
I have
you have
explained
explained?
financial resources. So here comes like fund. I will take an example of cafe. Okay, if I want to set up any cafe, so I want fund for that. I want money, because without money I cannot acquire any other resource. So this is the basic resource for acquiring any other resource. So firstly, I will think that from where I can get the money. Who can give me the money? Can I go to bank for acquiring the money, or can I go to any friend or family who can give me money? So first first requirement, basic requirement for any starting up any business is fund. So I will
That means,
acquire.
sorry to
Yes,
disturb, that means sources of funds needs to be identified, right?
yes, ma'am. Sources
That
of
means
funds
short
need.
term, middle term, and long term sources of funds needs to be identified.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, okay. Please proceed.
Next, after identification of fund, we will go for manpower requirement. As I have explained, like I'm opening a cafe or I'm opening a restaurant. So I want skilled, semi-skilled, even unskilled employee for me for my organization. I want a manager. I want a manager who should be who should have a good communication, who can interact with the customer which will be coming in my cafe. I want semi-skilled employees. I want unskilled employees who can cook, who have knowledge regarding cooking, who can do the other tasks which I want, like cleaning the cafe and arranging the resources accordingly, with uh, and making the cafe look more attractive. So kind of things I will be requiring. So next will be human resources. Here I will decide that what kind of human capital I want in my organization, semi-skilled or unskilled employees.
Can you
Next,
please explain the concept of human capital once again?
yes, ma'am. Human capital is one of the most important resource in any organization, because if a human resource will not be available in any organization, all other resources will be of no use. So human resource is the most important uh, resource for any organization, because it is the resource which will make the utilization of other resources. So human resource is, I can say, the pillar of any organization. Without having a sufficient amount of human resource, an organization cannot work. Ma'am, can I can?
Next, please. It
Yes.
was human resource. The next
Yes.
M.
Next M is material. As I've explained that if I will be opening a cafe, I will require the material accordingly. Uh, According to my menu, I have, like if I'm having shakes in my menu card, if I'm having French fries, I'm having sandwiches, so I will be requiring material accordingly. Milk, sugar, potatoes, tomatoes, all kind of vegetables I will be requiring. So this will be the material which I will be requiring for running my cafe. Next is machine. Machine like sandwich maker. If I'm delivering sandwich in my menu, so I want sandwich maker. I want mixer to make shakes. So what kind of the machine I require depends upon the nature of my business. Next, next is method. So method is one of the most crucial, I can say, business resource, because here we will decide the steps which we will be following to deliver our product to the end customer. What will be the steps? How we will be performing all the activities so that we can deliver the product which we want to deliver to our customer. So it is a set of activities, sequence of the task which we will be going to perform for achievement of any business outcome. These were the four. These were the five M's of mobilization. Any other question?
Himadri, there is one question in the chat box that to what extent SWOT analysis is important in resource mobilization?
What analysis is important in resource
SWOT,
mobilization?
SWOT analysis.
Okay. SWOT analysis. So when we are mobilization means movement of resources. So if I am acquiring any resources from the resource provider, I have to identify that what are the strength, I have to study whole business environment, that what if I'm acquiring the resource from any resource provider, is the resources correct, or what is the will be the resource beneficial for me in future perspective, or I'm acquiring the resource, is the resource is will be beneficial for my business. So before acquiring any resources from the resource provider, we will be studying the requirement needfulness of the resources completely. What will be the strength of the resource which I am acquiring, what can be the weakness of the resource. If suppose I will not the resource I want from Assam, will I will be able to get it from the Assam, like transport facility, opportunity. What will be the opportunity of the resource? What resource not? What will be the opportunity of my product which I am bringing to the market? With the help of resource I will be going to acquire, and what will be the threats, means who will be the competitive uh, person for me in the market.
That means strength, weakness, opportunities, and threats can be identified for each and every industry. And
Yes, ma'am.
according to the industry, resource mobilization and mapping can be done, right?
Yes, yes, ma'am.
Okay, okay, thank you. I hope Sanja got the reply to her question. Any other any
Yes,
other
I'm
query?
very satisfied with the answer. This is, yes, a really good answer. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Is there any other question from the participants? Okay. So the
I would like
another
to,
question from
yes, I
participants
would like
is,
to, I have a few
yeah,
comments
please,
about,
please, Stephen, please.
yes, I have a few comments about this lecture. I think that this topic is extremely important, not just for the industry, but also for the academy. And I remember when I was faced with the SWOT analysis for the first time, that was some 10 years ago. And I'm sure that people coming from academy, especially from the natural sciences, are not aware of the SWOT analysis at all. Only a handful of people are familiar with the SWOT analysis while they are preparing their project applications. And I'm interested, for example, do you maybe perform training for the SWOT analysis for some of your colleagues, for example, because I think that would be great cooperation between the Management Institute and between some other institution that is oriented, for example, towards physical sciences.
Madri, did you got the question? What Stephen is asking?
Training and development, regarding training and development.
Right.
Yes, ma'am. So, training and development is very important, because when you want to acquire something, you should have the sufficient knowledge that if I'm acquiring something, if I'm going for something, I'm having the knowledge regarding the thing I will acquire. So yes, training and development is an important tool when we are doing any SWOT analysis, because having insufficient knowledge regarding the business environment, regarding the product which I will be acquiring, I will not be able to acquire the product. In this case, sometimes I can acquire the wrong product also, which will not be in the need for me in future. So yes, training and development is very important when we are doing SWOT analysis.
I would also like to add here, Stephen, what practice which we follow in our institute to the students. We teach them, there is one subject called business environment in which we teach them ETOP analysis, the SWOT analysis, and also the education system has revised here in India. National education policy has been launched in last year. So what we do, train the trainer concept is there, wherein we educate our teachers every week. One faculty is identified, and every week that faculty is supposed to prepare one presentation, and they are required to teach all the trained faculties so that we can improve that particular teacher.
Great.
Therefore, SWOT analysis in the theory is one thing, and we do it practically in every week in the form of faculty development program.
Great activities. Yes. That is very interesting for us coming from the natural sciences, where we are focused only on experiments and calculations. But when we want to make a product out of something, then we do not have enough skills in preparing the business plan, and that means we don't know actually how to prepare how to perform a good SWOT analysis. So thank you very much for this.
Surely in the coming time, I'll be taking one session on preparing a business plan, lean canvas model and all.
That would be wonderful. Yes.
Okay, so one question, Himadri, for you in the chat box is, as we are having 5 minutes to go for this session, the participants are requested to join back to the same link in case any other questions remaining. And any which ways, we will be joining again because vote of thanks is remaining. So one question from Adarsh Sharma, he's a student, that what about the financial institutions? Because these institutions also need financial support and human resource. What kind of resources they need to sustain?
Okay, so if we talk about the financial institutions, so financial institutions mostly require skilled employees, because if we are running any financial institution, we should have the employees who can uh, give knowledge to the people, that from how they have to borrow loan, what is the process of loan. So for any financial institution, skilled employees are required, because if anyone requires fund, mostly people go to financial institution. So there they should they should be able to explain the schemes, and there they should be able to explain the plans which will be helpful in providing financial resource to the person who has visited the financial institution. So basically, and how can they sustain it? They should try to they should try to identify that what amount of human resources required in the organization, what kind of human resources is required, how much semi-skilled, how much unskilled, and what kind of skilled employees are required in the organization. So likewise, they can sustain the employees in the
To this
organization.
answer, thank you, Himadri. To this answer, I would like to add to give the answer to others that mapping of right candidate to the right place is also required in these kind of organizations, because if any institution is a financial institution, then there must be a body to whom they are also reporting. So hence the proper mapping, and as Himadri madam has told that skillful employees are required, and therefore one term which she had used in 5 M's, that is human or manpower. A human capital is a person who is a trained employee of the organization for which is termed as a asset to the organization. So in that case, the employee retention plays an important role. The person who is there with your organization, say for example, 5 to 6 year or 10 year, that person is like a asset to the organization, and that term is known as human capital. I hope the answer has been received to Adarsh Sharma. Any other question from the participants?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Anyone who would like to ask anything? Okay. Shall I proceed to the vote of thanks, Stephen? And we shall end the session because we have 1 minute. Yeah.
Thank you all.
Himadri, would you please stop sharing? Yeah, we are back.
Yes, we're back.
So post COVID, I have shared with Maria that post COVID we have not renewed our commercial version of Zoom, and that is why we need to face this glitch.
Yes, we are in the similar
So-
situation. Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
So
yes.
nowadays we have started offline classes, and
Yes.
we have our induction week in the coming Monday.
Yes.
From 26th, we are welcoming our new batch of BBA, BCom, and MBA students.
Yes, 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 yes. Everything is going from online to offline now. Yes,
Yes.
yes, yes.
Yes.
Anyway,
But these kind of things cannot go. I cannot come to Serbia and meet you all. I don't know when the time will come. You all, when you visit India, you please do call me and we will meet
yes, we
everything.
all have those desires to meet actually in physical. Yes, and we are all
Right.
really happy, and we are waiting for that moment. That moment will come eventually. So the
Yeah,
situation
why
is,
not? Why not?
yes, the
In
situation is quite
someday,
challenging.
some conference, international conference will be planned on multidisciplinary topic and we will be meeting for sure.
Great. Yes, yes, yes. Definitely, we are on
Yes.
the same wavelength. Definitely. Yes. So,
Yes. So,
thank you.
Stephen, I request you to please share that certificate of appreciation if
Yes,
you
yes,
have,
with pleasure.
please.
Yes, just let me
Yeah.
share my screen. I'm right now, yes, I'm able now to share my screen. So the certificate of appreciation first goes to Professor Himadri Mishra. Thank you very much uh, for this lecture. As I said, it is very important, especially for the scientists that are working in the area of natural sciences, because they are always more focused on fundamental research rather than product development. And when it comes to product development, then we have that gap. And this is why we are going to definitely have more intense collaboration in the future. I have an idea right now to maybe our students could perform SWOT analysis together in some of the projects in the future, and IDASCO and Indoor Management Institute could, for example, prepare some symbolic rewards for those students who perform the best SWOT analysis. For example, this is something maybe we should think about that in the future. And of course, I would like to emphasize once again the wonderful collaboration between IDASCO and Indoor Management Institute and Research Center. So thank you very much. I've mentioned on several occasions that most of the IDASCO members are coming from the natural sciences and physical sciences, and it is really refreshment to hear something about these very important topics. So thank you once again, and we are very welcome to hear all of your thoughts about our future collaboration.
Thank you so much. Yes, Stephen, of course. Whenever you say we will plan one event like that, wherein the students from EDASCO team, EDASCO can share their projects in the form of SWOT analysis or so, and then we can review them and we can share the insights what we do in our institution and uh, what the Indian institutions apply. So we can surely do that kind of event together. Also, I would like to invite you someday on some Saturday or Sunday to organize one common topic which can be understood by commerce and management students, which is the topic of yours from the natural sciences. So
Yes,
because it is
yes,
also one of the topic which is untouched by our students, I would like that they should get some knowledge about natural sciences as well. So
great,
I
great
would
idea,
like to
definitely,
invite one session in coming future from your end
definitely.
also.
Yes, yes, count on us, definitely, definitely. Yes, thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you so much. So, Sanjay and Maria, I would also like to hear from you about the session.
Well, I think that this session was really, really great. As Stefan mentioned, this is a very interesting topic and very useful for us, especially when we have opportunity to write some projects. And actually, we are now in the actually in that situation, and we completely understand how is important. And I'm very satisfied with your idea and Stefan's also that in the future we can have the seminar or webinar or something like that where we can connect this topic. And I think that it will be useful for your students and also for our students. And I think that that is really, really great idea. Thank you very much for this opportunity for collaboration. And also, I would like to thank you for lecture today and for your engagement. You are also very, very patient with us, and I think that your idea are actually very great. And you have a great idea to, actually, you want um, to improve our collaboration for true. And I think that that is great for IDASCO and also great for Indoor, of course. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Chandra.
Okay, I also want to thank you, Dr. Parul, for motivating us to organize these great events. And as Stevan and Sanya said, we are some who is coming from the field of natural sciences, and it was really delightful and impressive to hear and to have some insights in some other research area. I really enjoyed hearing a lecture from Professor Himadri Mishra. I want to thank her as well as the Indoor Management Institute. And we are always open-minded for new collaborations, for new topics, and to share knowledge between us and with our students. So thank you.
Thank you so much. And it was so nice hearing good words from you all. And surely we will be doing more such sessions together for the mutual interest. Thank you so much. And namaste from India.
Greetings.
Thank you. Goodbye.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you.